Do you ever have those moments where you're stuck listening to your friend who will literally not stop talking about a show, a movie, or a comedy special that they really liked? Annoying, right? But when was the last time did you ask your friend about a show that they saw and they told you that they were legally not allowed to talk about it? Probably never. What's up, y'all? It's Emile Ennis Jr. here with Clevver News, and you've probably never had that happen to you because it's pretty much unprecedented, until Pete Davidson came around. That's because Pete is now apparently requiring everybody who attends his stand-up comedy show to sign an NDA. And not just any NDA, a $1 million NDA.
$1 million.
So in case you don't know, an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement is a legal document that states you are not allowed to discuss certain topics or information that is disclosed to you. Usually entertainment or tech companies will have new employees sign an NDA if they will be exposed to secret company information that they do not want to be spread around. Sometimes in very particular, unusual circumstances in Los Angeles or New York, people might have to sign an NDA before they see a movie or hear an album that has not been released yet. But even that is unusual and only done in very extreme circumstances. Like even Taylor Swift doesn't have her fans sign NDAs at her secret sessions. But Pete Davidson does, apparently, and his NDA states that people have to pay him $1 million if they discuss his stand-up show online. And as for comedy shows, that's pretty much unheard of, especially because a lot of comics gain more fans through word of mouth. If people talk or post about the comedian or a particularly funny set that they had, then more people will probably want to go see them next time they perform. I mean, at the surface level, I don't understand why Pete would think this $1 million NDA shtick is a good idea. Like, are we not allowed to discuss his shows, good or bad? But he's certainly doing this because of incidents that he's had in the past. Like in April of this past year, when he walked out of the comedy club before his set even began. Or more recently, when he went on a bizarre tirade about young people in the audience being on their phones recording the set. That night, he went as far as to call the people in the audience, quote, privileged little assholes. During that set, when we saw people using their phones, he said, "That's why we're embarrassing. That's why the world is gonna end in 25 years, because you're all effing our words." His words, not mine. But Pete plays a lot of colleges like the University of Central Florida, where the last cell phone incident went down, and 9 times out of 10, college kids don't have a cool $1 million to spend on a comedian who is already worth about $4 million himself. Look, I'm willing to give comedians some leeway. Like, if you want to enforce a no phones policy, that's great. We should all be present when taking in a comedy show. Sometimes at live performances like these, the staff will lock up everyone's phones or put them in a little unopenable bag to ensure that people don't use them, and I get that. People pay to see you perform, and you don't want people filming your performance and showing it to other people for free. Fine. But making people sign an NDA and threatening to sue them for $1 million plus legal fees is just out of this world. Apparently, though, this policy has been going on since at least early November. But I guess nobody in the entertainment industry who thought this policy was unusual has attended one of Pete's shows since then, because they would have probably spoken up sooner. So it took one brave woman from San Francisco to post the NDA online saying, "I got an email today informing me that in order to see this show, I have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. In that NDA, the signer cannot give any interviews, opinions, or critiques about it in any form whatsoever, including blogs, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or any other social networking. It also authorizes them to confiscate, including seize and destroy the contents of any cell phones, cameras, or PDAs, and that any breach of the agreement will require payment of $1 million in damages as well as the legal cost." She concludes by saying, "Don't perform for the public if you don't want people to have an opinion about it." In the official NDA, they call Pete's stand-up works in progress creative content, meaning that he's testing out a lot of new material to see how it works with audiences. These typically can be hit or miss, and it makes sense that Pete might not want these new jokes recorded, but this dramatic, expensive NDA has been going on since early November, and his material should definitely have been tested out by then. It does also say that whoever chooses not to sign the NDA can't go into the show, but can get a full refund. Well, I mean, at least that's nice of him, I guess. But don't forget, you can see Pete for free, $99 every Saturday on Saturday Night Live, though maybe he'll have people start signing NDAs for those performances soon as well, who knows. But truthfully though, Pete hasn't been in much of SNL this season at all. He missed the first 2 episodes altogether for a film shoot out of the state, and since then he's had a very slow return to the sketch comedy show. Some people are theorizing that the writers of SNL have stopped writing parts for Pete either due to their dislike for him or his high demands. That of course is all just speculation, but it is strange that he's been in so little of the current season, especially since he was one of the major players last year when he was dating Ariana Grande. And if you really want to see Pete but don't feel like risking $1 million, you could also just Google his sketches for free as well. And people online aren't too happy about the NDA either. On the post, which was added to one of Pete's event pages, people were concerned about the irregular language as part of the legal document. Someone commented, "He knows the internet is going to tell if he's not worth the money." Another said, "I would consider even reading a single sentence if there's a name like Jerry Seinfeld or Dave Chappelle attached, but who is this person?" Other people were saying that an NDA like this wouldn't hold up in a court of law because it's only valid for the time of Pete's performance. What that means is that if a person were to post that they didn't like the performance during the show, then maybe they could successfully be sued, but if that person left the show 1 minute after it ended and said they didn't like it, they could be perfectly within their rights. So unless Pete wants to hire some more lawyers to go through his NDA, I don't think it's going to do much more than scare people away. But I want to know what you think. Do you think that this is way over the top, or does Pete have a point in printing an NDA? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And then make sure you subscribe to Clevver News so we can keep you up to date with whatever is going on in the world of Hollywood, and click right over here to watch another brand new video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here on Clevver, guys. I'm Emile Ennis Jr, and I'll see you soon, because you subscribed.